In recent years, landlords and rental companies in the west side of Santa Barbara have been causing overwhelming displacement of Latino families. Through the privatized monopolization of ownership of apartment complexes and small single-family homes, the Ventura Investment Company has been able to have a heavy hand of control over deciding who gets to live in the west side of Santa Barbara. The Ivy Apartments, owned by the Ventura Investment Company, have several locations in the west side. At these locations, buildings look newly painted and have well-kept plant beds and gardens. However, if you walk just down the street, you can see that this is a process of the gentrification of the west side. At the Ivy Apartments located on Anapamu, it is clear that the students occupying these apartments are out of place in a family neighborhood. Just across the street from the building is a Boys and Girls Club and a park. And in the complex next to the Ivy Apartments, balconies are loaded with all different kinds of side spikes, indicating that the people occupying these homes are in fact small families. Furthermore, by looking at the markets and churches surrounding these homes, we can see that the Latino families are the dominant occupants of this neighborhood. In Santa Barbara, it is legal to carry out no-cause evictions, in which tenants will have done nothing wrong, but landlords are still able to order them to leave. In many cases, the time frame for tenants to vacate their homes is 3 to 6 months. With Santa Barbara's low vacancy rate, high rent, and the requirement of tenants to put down first and last month's rent and a security deposit, 3 to 6 months is not enough time for families to find a new place to live. As a result, many children and their parents end up homeless or stay at family or friends' homes while they look for another place to live. Additionally, there is no rent control in Santa Barbara, meaning landlords are able to consistently raise the rent on their tenants, eventually forcing them to leave. In this case, many families are unable to support their children because more than half of their income goes to rent. Eventually, parents cannot afford to buy the right amount of groceries or other necessities for their children and are forced to leave, creating a situation in which families are displaced, making them unable to have a home to feed their children in, sleep comfortably in, and foster and grow their social network, families, and communities is a human rights violation. Making children homeless and forcing them to wake up at 6 a.m. to travel for 2 hours on multiple buses to get to school is not right. These families are also targeted because their parents are typically undocumented workers, and landlords know that they will be afraid to resist for fear of being reported to ICE, detained and deported, separated from their families and children. Additionally, tenants do not want to have a bad reputation amongst these very powerful landlords and rental companies. The only party that could possibly be benefiting from the gentrification of the west side of Santa Barbara are the landlords and the Ivy apartments, because even those students who will now occupy the buildings are paying rent that is far too high and not sustainable. In a positive light, fixing up buildings allows the opportunity for environments around them to be upkept and taken care of. However, constructing new buildings means the loss of habitat for many species, plants and animals, and the destruction of the natural environment. A group called CAUSE, Central Coast Alliance for United for a Sustainable Economy, has called for several actions for the city of Santa Barbara in order to protect their tenants. CAUSE calls on Santa Barbara to require rent control and eliminate no-cause evictions. Additionally, CAUSE claims that there needs to be relocation assistance and advance notice, meaning that tenants will be paid a certain sum of money and will be told in advance when they are going to be evicted. Additionally, with relocation assistance, there will be higher assistance given to special needs households. Many tenants are signing month-to-month leases, which is not desirable for long-term tenants. Those who wish to sign a year-long lease should be given the option to have a longer lease. And finally, landlords need to publicly post and inform tenants on their basic rights